What is going on, guys? Today I bring you round 5 of Torneio Interno Beira-Mar, probably one of the most important games of the tournament. This I'm playing against Susana Ferreira. She's 1638 rated. And funny story, I actually early on this journey I played against her sister with the black pieces also, and that was a very exciting game. And if you guys want to check that out, it was episode 8. I will leave at the end of the video a link to it, and you can check that game out. So yeah, this was very important because there were 3 people fighting for the first spot in the tournament, and yeah, I was probably the one doing the best with my undefeated streak. And yeah, I think Susanna actually, the round before this one, so round 4, she lost to Carlos, which was the highest rated player that I beat, so I was in the lead. But yeah, this game was basically the decider. I think if I win this game, I probably guarantee the first place. If I draw, I still have good chances. If I lose, I'm probably not gonna make it to the first place. But let's see how the game went. So my opponent started with e4, and I went d6. So far, nothing special. I've played d6 a lot of times. And after d4, I go g6, and I totally switch it up. I play an opening that I've never played before with the black pieces. I never played the modern slash Pirk in this style with the fianchetto. I normally go d6 and knight f6, e5, so the Philidor. But yeah, I decided to surprise my opponent and do something that I never did. So if she prepared, I guess a preparation was not very useful. But you know, I like to sometimes throw these curveballs. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But I like to do this. So my opponent goes knight f3. I go knight f6. She goes bishop d3. I go bishop g7. c3 here. I castle, and she castles. So pretty standard so far. We have I have this type of King's Indian like structure, and yeah, it's fine. I go rook e8 here, which yeah, the computer doesn't love it. I thought it was natural. The computer wants e5 directly. Was recommending e5. For me, e5, c5 just looks like we are losing a pawn. Knight bd7 was also a thought that came into my head, but I decided to play rook e8, and what could go wrong? Here my opponent goes e5, so striking against my center, getting space. I play takes on e5, and after knight takes, I play knight bd7. So yeah, pretty standard here. And yeah, I thought that my opponent was gonna play f4 here, and yeah, I would have to deal with this knight here. Although yeah, this isn't actually good for white because I can just strike c5, and yeah, this knight won't be as strong after I chop things down and open the game up. But my opponent didn't go for f4 as I thought she would. She went knight f3, which definitely can't be a good move because the knight was so well placed on e5, and I feel like even maybe just trading would be better than going back. Although that's arguable. Maybe it's not actually. But yeah, I mean, maybe just rook e1, trying to maintain this knight here, because it's annoying for me to have the knight here, and maybe she can sneak a bishop c4 or queen b3, attacking this pawn. And I don't know, but I think that would be better. But my opponent went back to f3, and here just allowed me to just do my pawn break. Here the computer says e5 is better. I considered e5 and c5. I honestly didn't really understand what would be the big difference. With e5 and c5. Here I went for c5 because I thought that at least I'm opening up a path for my queen, maybe to go to b6, maybe to go to a5. And yeah, my opponent just takes on c5, I take with the knight, and she plays bishop b5, which kind of surprised me. And here, after thinking for a while, I was trying to see what was the best way to continue, because there's a lot of options here. Should I keep queens on the board? Should I not? Should I trade down into an endgame? What should I do? And here, of course, she's attacking my rook on e8, so I have to do something about that. And here I went for an option that I thought was simple and efficient, but yeah, I just traded the queens and played bishop d7. And yeah, she took my bishop, I took back with the c5 knight. And yeah, we get this position after bishop g5, rook a8, which yeah, just looks very equal. And I thought that if someone would be better here, would be me, because I'm better developed. She still has to develop her knight and her rook, and I have every piece sort of developed from their first position. But yeah, the computer wanted me to keep queens on the board with something like knight c d7 or bishop d7. And yeah, I just didn't really see the reason why. If I can just equalize as black and go into a slightly better endgame, I thought that this would be the best way to go. And yeah, so I did. Here, after rook a8, she played knight a3. I played a6. A move that the computer doesn't really think it's necessary, a6. The computer says I can just go knight b6 or something like that. But allowing this annoying knight to come here, and yeah, I didn't really want to allow that, so I just played a6. Also, I'm putting my pawns on light squares, so this bishop can't target them, so I thought it was pretty natural. a6. She plays h3. Probably as well a similar idea to just get rid of back rank problems, and also not allow my knight to go to g4, I guess. I go here knight e5. I didn't know, I felt like this position was pretty good for me, and I was pretty well, but I didn't really know what I should actually do. I was a little bit concerned about ideas such as bishop f4 and go to c7, annoy this rook here. I was also a bit concerned about something like knight c4 and knight b6 once the bishop goes to e3 or f4, something like that. I was afraid of her gaining a lot of initiative and stuff like that, and yeah, I decided to, okay, let's attack her bishop with knight e4 and yeah, try to put some pressure. Here my opponent goes bishop e3 and I go knight d to c5. So yeah, my thought process here was, if I'm in doubt, if I don't really know where I want my pieces to be, I'm at least gonna go forward, and I'm not gonna stay passive. I actively on the board. And here my opponent just traded rooks on the d file, which I was very happy to see, because she just gives me the d file for pretty much nothing. And here, after king f1, I go knight a4, attacking the b2 pawn here, and my opponent defends with rook b1. And here I started thinking for a while. I think we were pretty equal on time, if I remember correctly. Maybe I had a little bit more time than her. And yeah, here I started thinking for a long time, because you look at this position and you feel like there's some tactic that you can do to gain a pawn or some material, because it feels like I have so much more space. My pieces are way more active, and yeah, she's basically just defending, and I'm attacking. So I kind of tried to look for a tactic here for a long while. I didn't see anything concrete, and there is nothing concrete here. There's no like blowout, no strike tactic. And so yeah, I was a little bit confused, a little bit frustrated, and I played b5, which is a good move. Just gaining space and kind of preventing this knight from developing forward. Yeah. My opponent goes knight c2, good move to reroute the knight, and here I go rook d3, which probably the worst move that I played so far in this game. I think before this move I was playing really well, I would say, and here I just play a horrible move. Like, I was really out of ideas. I didn't really know how I wanted to keep developing here, and yeah, still looking at this now, it feels like a little bit awkward. What should I really do in terms of development? And yeah, I decided to go rook d3 to set up a trap, which of course didn't work because there was no trap whatsoever. But my idea was, okay, this knight on c2 is defending the bishop, right? So if she plays knight b4, I can actually win material by rook takes e3, and when she takes with the pawn, which is the only way to take, I give a check here on d2, and I fork the king and the rook, and I win material. And after a bit of time thinking, she played knight b4, and I was almost about to take on e3, and I realized, why is she letting me do this? I thought this wasn't possible. And after like a minute or two thinking, I realized, oh, this knight on f3 actually prevents that tactical shot from working. So what am I thinking? How did I not see that in advance? I was very like, okay, this is going the wrong way. No, this is not good. And fortunately I saw that in time, and I played rook d6. And here we had, it looks like nothing really happened in this game, but we were already like in a bit of time trouble, because we were down to, like, I would say 15 minutes or something like that here. So yeah, we were already, and we start with 1 hour and 30 minutes. So yeah, even though this position looks very like simple and nothing is going on, there's actually a lot of tension here, because yeah, we're getting low on time, and we don't really know how to continue developing and breaking through. So here she plays bishop f4, which just looks very annoying and a very good move, because where is my rook going? The rook is protecting the pawn on e6 and can't go to c6. d3 just looks awkward, looks very awkward to have the rook on e6, because then she can take the open file. And also rook b6 looks very bad in views of bishop c7. And yeah, I'm literally, like, my rook is just running out of squares. But after calculating, I realized that actually bishop f4 was a big mistake, and I just played e5. And e5 works here. It just looks like it doesn't work, because she just takes my pawn with the bishop, for example, and after knight takes on e5, it looks like she just won a pawn. But actually now this works with knight d2, and I actually fork the rook and the king, and I'm actually just completely winning. I'm gonna be up a rook, and yeah, if she takes the pawn with the knight, I guess I don't have immediately knight d2 check, because the bishop is protecting that square. But I have a stunning idea with g5, which is actually brilliant, because now of course if she takes here on g5, I can just take the bishop or take the knight. So yeah, probably just taking the bishop is good enough. I'm just up a piece. And if she doesn't remove if she removes the bishop from this diagonal, she just loses the knight. And if she plays, for example, let's say bishop h2, now I have knight e2 check, and I actually fork the king and the rook. So yeah, this is actually a pretty nice shot, e5. I'm glad that I found this. And she played bishop e3, which is correct. Of course, she didn't want to take the pawn. And now I played f5, so I was feeling myself. I was like, okay, she made a mistake. She allowed me to gain space. She allowed me back into the game, and I was very excited. And then she played g3, and I was like, oh, what should I do now? Like, oh, I just wanted to go f4 and kick this bishop away, but now, like, what do I do? I started all, like, again, looking for tactics, looking for something here, and I couldn't really find it. I thought about h6, try to play g5 and f4, but I thought, oh no, this can't work, this is too slow. I thought about a5, trying to kick this knight away. I thought about knight c5, I thought about the other knight to c5, but I couldn't really decide, and I had to make a move. So I ended up playing a5, and after knight c2, I played knight to c5, and here my opponent shocked me with b4. Just very good move, just challenging the queen side and kind of opening up her position, and this is just a very nice move, and it really caught me by surprise. And here I had to make a decision, try to calculate, but I just didn't like anything. I literally didn't like any of the moves that I saw, and yeah, because like it just looks at first sight that I can take on c3 and I'm attacking the rook, but she takes on c5 and takes my rook after, so took my knight and the rook, so that doesn't work. I thought about a takes b4, which just looks like the most natural, but after rook takes on b4, I thought that how do I defend b5? Because the thing is that if I take it on c3, she just takes on c5 with the bishop, so I lose the knight, so I can take the pawn on c3. And yeah, I didn't see a way to defend this pawn, because let's say I just play rook b6. I mean, there's a lot of ways that she can go here, but I think the most natural is a4. This pin is very annoying, I can't take. So yeah, I was very frustrated. I thought that I thought that I messed up the position again. I was getting nervous, and yeah, here the computer even says, okay, just take, and after rook takes b4, just play like knight d3 and give up this pawn, and you're fine. But no, I didn't want to give up material, right? Even though, yeah, I mean, I might have this. It's like I don't know what's going on actually. Just rook b8, king f7. Yeah, maybe here I'm fine, but this is so messy. And I decided to go for knight a4. So my idea was, okay, this is a good move, because okay, I let her take on a5, but I take on c3, and now we traded pawns, but she has double pawns. Even though she has passed pawn, she has double pawns, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna be able to take a5 eventually, and yeah, we'll have like equal material or something like that, and it will be fine. And so I thought. And here she played rook b2, and I played rook a6, just trying to go grab the pawn as soon as possible. But yeah, of course, here she has bishop b6, which is very nice. And I play knight d6, so really just trying to go after her pieces. You know, I was looking at knight c4 here, attacking the bishop, attacking the rook. And here she played knight b4, which is, yeah, very nice move and very annoying for me. After rook a4, which is forced, she was attacking my rook. She plays rook c2, attacking my knight, and I play e4, kind of a cool move, attacking her knight and opening the defense of my knight here. And she played knight d4. So I was very frustrated. Like she just had an answer for every one of my moves. And here, yeah, I just couldn't find a good move. Yeah, there was a lot of things going on. Thought about taking on d4. I thought about knight a4, but none of these moves actually looked good to me. Like on knight a4, for example, um, I think I thought that rook c6 was very annoying, and it kind of is because it's attacking this knight, also defending the bishop, and yeah, I just didn't know what was going on. Also, she can just jump with the knight on e6. This was very messy, and I just took the knight on d4. I couldn't calculate anything concrete that I liked, so I just took the knight and then played knight a4, which this is just loses pretty much. After a6, I can't take the pawn still. These pieces are guarding the pawn so well, and yeah, I tried to play knight c4 here, but she just played b7, a7, excuse me, and the pawn is so close to promoting, and yeah, it's rough. It's rough. Here I just played knight b6, but she can just take the knight, and yeah, after rook c7, I still tried knight c8 to go grab the pawn on a7, but she just played knight c6, and yeah, there's too many threats here. I think the simplest is rook takes on c8 with check, and after I take with the rook, she has a fork here. But yeah, there's also just knight here, actually, just knight check, and we trade knights, and yeah, I mean, this pawn, I can never take it. If I bring the king closer, she just starts grabbing all my pawns, and yeah, she just brings the king, and it's all over. I played for a lot more moves. I sacrificed my knight, and I tried to desperately get a draw from completely losing position, but yeah, I'm not even gonna bother annoying you guys with that, because yeah, it was just, there was nothing to play for, but I still didn't want to resign. And yeah, this was the game. So pretty sad. Yeah, I felt like just like a few decisions weren't the best, and yeah, it just sucks. I was very sad for losing this game, but it was a very nice lesson, because yeah, even though some positions just look like very dry and there's nothing really going on, sometimes those are the hardest positions to play, when you don't have nothing concrete and you just have to improve slowly the positions. So yeah, I really enjoyed playing this game, and yeah, congrats to my opponent for beating me. Her family and she and her sister already, like, just destroyed me twice. I need some redemption sometime. I need to get my revenge, but no, it's all good. And yeah, this was the episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next episode. Bye bye.